Okay, so the new trailer for Avatar 2 The Way of Water is out now, and throughout this video we're going to be opening Pandora's box to break down the whole thing, filled with Easter eggs, callbacks to the first movie, and some details that give away what the plot will be. This is our definitive breakdown on the final main trailer before the movie releases next month. Will this be the biggest film of all time? Will it usher in a new era of cinema? Will there be 7.8 too much water? Well, we're gonna get into it. Please hit the thumbs up button if you enjoy the video, and don't forget to subscribe for breakdowns like this every day. Without the way, thank you for clicking this. Now let's get into Avatar The Way of Water. Okay, so we know the film will take place over a decade after the first film. That was set during 2154, and it followed Jake Sully as he was brought in to try and gain acceptance by the Na'vi. This was on a mission from the RDA so that they could farm the planet for a special element called unobtainium. I'm not laughing. Now, planet Earth is currently a barren wasteland at this time. It looks like South Shields on a Saturday night. Because of the lack of natural resources, we've had a journey out into the stars, and this is why the humans have ultimately decided to return to the planet. They've got nothing left, and now the RDA are reconstructing the base at Hell's Gate, which we know will be part of this film. They have returned to this outpost and are now using their own avatars as a way to conquer the planet. The first movie ended with a battle in the floating mountains that we know will also be returning to this film as well. This was caused by a naturally occurring gravitational anomaly on the planet that was a good place to fight due to the atmosphere there messing with the humans' radar. However, we'll be broadening our horizons, so to speak, and travelling to several aquatic locations so that the Na'vi can defend their home against old and new foes. This place will be known as Met Kayina, and it too carries the gravity differences that the mountains do. Whereas the first film had mountain banshees, we now see sea ones that allow their rider to sit on top of them whilst they're submerged in water. These beasts have long snouts with sharp protruding teeth that make them look like a cross between an alligator or a long-nosed gaur. You might also notice that the leader has a tomoka, based on the traditional tattoos of the Maori. There'll be several diver characters in the movie, and new cast additions such as Kate Winslet as Ronal. Winslet apparently set a world record for the longest scene filmed underwater without oxygen, and she managed to go 7 minutes without taking a breath. She will also have her own creature called an ilu that she can tether herself to. This is a creature that we'll likely see the Na'vi in the movie taming, so that they can tackle the humans using underwater means. There is a section we know where they'll attack a human base, and they may use these creatures to sneak in there undetected. Trees again play a big part as well, with roots reaching into the sea creating small pools that the Na'vi can chill in. Now we open the trailer with two characters diving into the lush waters of Pandora, and here we see Kiri. This is an adopted child of Jake and Kiri who has a lot going on with her. Now when we did our first trailer breakdown, we discussed how Sigourney Weaver was returning and gave theory times about how they may have cloned or resurrected her. Throw that out with the Mephisto theories though, as we now know what's going on with her. Sigourney will be playing Kiri, a brand new character who's completely unattached to who she was originally. Kiri will be a keen diver, and Weaver had to learn freediving in order to film many of the underwater sequences. You might also notice that her voice sounds similar to Sigourney's, but they've downplayed her being the same person. However, there could be a link as she constantly talks about her feelings. Now this is likely a link to Aya, who is basically the all-mother of the planet. This is a deity of Pandora that looks over everything. However, it could also be a link to Sigourney's character in the first film. She was absorbed into the tree when they tried to transfer her body. This could mean that her spirit is in everything, and the reason that Kiri sounds so similar is because she has taken a trait from her. She knows people will think she's crazy, but she talks about how she feels her and how she can also hear her heartbeat. Therefore, I do think that it's linked to the two characters, and the recasting was done for a reason. This video is sponsored by Established Titles, a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. Established Titles lets you call yourself a lady, lord, or a laird due to a traditional Scottish custom. You see, landowners used to refer to themselves as this, and Established Titles allows you to buy at least 1 square foot of dedicated land on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland. On top of this, it's a great way to help out the environment, as Established Titles will plant a tree with every single order. They work with global charities like One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future to help with reforestation efforts. So if you pick up a plot, you can refer to yourself as a lord, whilst also helping to preserve the picturesque woodlands of Scotland. Now that also comes with a bit of an ego boost on top of all this environmental stuff. You can officially change your name on credit cards, plane tickets, your dating profile, whatever you want. They also give you a certificate confirming your lordship and a unique plot number that confirms your exact plot of land. Bow before Kevin's spoilers, you punk. I am the lord of this realm. Now, in addition to this, established titles have also told me that the first 200 people who use my link in the description below will be given a plot within walking distance of mine. It makes an amazing last minute gift, and established titles is actually running a massive Black Friday sale right now. Plus, if you use the code Heavy Spoilers, you get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/heavy spoilers to get your gifts now and help support the channel. Thanks. Now, in the decade since we last saw them, Jake and Kiri have had several children together. These are Netayam, Loak, and Tukateri, or Tuk for short, because I butchered the pronunciation on all those. They also show a scene in which it looks like they have one on the way, which we see from the fact that Kiri is pregnant whilst hunting. However, at the end of the trailer shows that she's no longer carrying a child, making me think that there's one of two things going on here. Now, either she lost the baby during a battle, or this initial scene is a flashback to when she was pregnant with one of the kids. The shot at the end has Jake with weapons and satchels that the humans carry, showing that the scene likely happens later on in the movie. Now, they also have another child, a strong child, if you will, who doesn't seem like he's related, but I can't put my finger on why. Now, this is actually Javier, who was a child when Hell's Gate went to, well, hell. Although it seems like the humans all left at the end of the first movie, we know that somewhat abandoned to Pandora due to the RDA pulling out faster than Adidas when Kanye says he's booked an interview. He was rescued by Jake and Kiri and then brought into their family. Because of the atmosphere on Pandora, he has to wear an oxygen mask at all times. However, he does enjoy the freedom that the planet gives over the more industrial things that the humans offer. Now, Stephen Lang and Matt Gerald are both returning to the film despite dying in the first one. We've also had some details filled in on them too, and it could possibly give us an idea of where their arcs go in the film and its sequels. Now, it's been revealed that Colonel Miles and Corporal Lyle were put through a program that resurrects them into something known as a recombinant. This procedure puts the memories and personality of someone into a Navi avatar so that they can fight once more for the RDA. Lang has confirmed that Miles will have the same vendetta that he had against Jake in the first movie, and that this will drive the new recombinant. Not only does he share the look that he originally had face-wise, but he even has an eagle tattoo on his arm that Miles had in the first film. Now, because of this, I think we can assume that he could go on an arc of realizing that he's just being used as a weapon. Even in death, the soldier hasn't had any rest, and no matter what happens to him, the RDA can just bring him back to life and force him into the field. He's just an object they own, and therefore I can see him possibly questioning his motives. However, Lang has said that he will be the main antagonist in all 4 sequels, and that we'll watch him go on a really unexpected journey. Because of this, he could really go a number of different ways that we can't really predict. It's even possible that they may have cloned him several times, and he could end up coming across a version of himself that makes him realize the RDA own him. In the first movie, they made scans of people's brains to put them into avatars, so I'm guessing this is how he's been duplicated. I also have a really interesting So in the first movie, we open by learning that Jake's twin brother has just died. The reason Jake was picked to be an avatar was because his brother was already formatted to one, and due to them sharing the same genetic makeup, Jake could take over without any issues. So my theory is that Jake's brother actually returns from the dead, and we learn that the RDA has placed him into a recombinant. This would add a lot of dramatic tension to it, and mean that Jake has to fight against the person he lost who led him to where he is today. Only trouble is that they'd have to find someone who looks exactly like Sam Worthington. Leave your comments below on who you think they should hire to play Sam Worthington's twin brother, cause I'm at me wit's end with it. Shut the f*** up whilst you're at it, and that's the end of time. I'm a complete idiot, but it's your fault for clicking the video. Time, you moron, time. Now, amongst the shots of the Navi rising up, we see a giant whale-like creature that is later used as a weapon on the human vessel. They have clearly mastered the creatures of sea and air, and will be using them as a way to stop the humans taking over. There's a great shot that juxtaposes their charge, and in it we see 2 mech suits running along a burning ship. You also see Jake's head popping out of the water, which resembles the scene from Apocalypse Now. Over the top of this, we see the Navi going out, and get this line from the chieftain.
We cannot let you bring your war here.
Now, we know that the leader of the Met Hyena tribe will be played by Cliff Curtis. This will be Tonawari, and his wife Rhea will be pregnant. Still, we know she'll be riding into battle, showing how much everyone has to pull together to fight off this threat. Now, we see Jake crushing a human skull, and this could potentially belong to his old body. It looks quite old, and I think him doing this is turning his back on the past. We also hear Loak talking about how he's an outcast. He he would be seen as being half human, so potentially this is why the other Na'vi don't end up accepting him. However, Tyrea says she sees him, butchered that, and she's probably going to be a big love interest for the character in the film. He's the one who also says that the way of water connects all things, and we see several shots of the Na'vi and life of water cohabiting. Is that weird? Now there's also some great shots, including one of the boat. In the first film, the humans of course had a giant airship, but here they've changed things up to fight against the Na'vi in the sea. I have a feeling that Neytiri might be captured and they will have to rescue her. This could also be the heart that Kiri is referring to, but let me know below if you have your own thoughts and theories. Now that ends the trailer, and we know that we have 3 more sequels after this. These are Avatar the Seedbearer, Avatar the Tolkien Rider, and lastly Avatar the Quest for Ea. The latter is the deity of the planet, who is seen as the All-Mother of Pandora. That will apparently release in 2028, and I'm curious to see how they're gonna keep going with this. I always say never bet against James Cameron because time and time again, he's been looked as being someone who can't possibly make back the money he spends on a movie. However, he always does it, and though I haven't got a crazy amount of hype yet, I am interested to see how this all plays out. I think this is probably going to be a must-see at the cinema, and it feels like one of those films that's going to be an event to close out the year. Cameron has constantly been at the forefront of pioneering certain technologies for film, and the reason for this delay was down to them having to find ways to do motion capture underwater. The film looks gorgeous too, and unfortunately, YouTube's compression downplays how good this thing actually looks. I was lucky enough to see the first trailer in IMAX, and it did look incredible. Now we still don't really know that much about the movie, and even though we have more details on it than we did with the first trailer, I still think there's a lot of mystery to the entire thing. Because of this, it's difficult to break down, as it's not like a Marvel movie where we can look at what's come before in both the films and comics. However, I hope this breakdown has filled in some details and given you some tidbits on what might be happening in the film. Obviously, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the trailer, so make sure you comment below and let me know. We're running a competition right now and giving away 3 copies of Top Gun Maverick on the 15th of November, and all you have to do to be on the chance of winning is like the video, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on the teaser. We pick the comments at random on the 15th, and the winners of the last one are on the screen right now, so if that's you, then message me on Twitter at HeavySpoilers. If you want something else to watch, make sure you check out our breakdown of all the trailers for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. We discuss all the new TV spots, give our theories on them, and yeah, it's definitely worth checking out if you're excited about that film. By the way, thanks for sitting through the video. I've been Paul, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.